Hey, all you awesome Boise State fans, welcome in on another Bronco Nation Live. Today, we're going to go into OverDrive as we'll be joined during the program again by Boise State ESports head coach Doc Haskell. We've got a full slate of Boise State athletics to hit tonight: basketball, softball, gymnastics, track and field, esports, as I said, beach volleyball, and more. But stay tuned. After the show, we'll be pushing out our first overtime show since we're so full, chock full of for our preview and review of Boise State's men's and women's basketball as the Broncos continue to push forward towards the Mountain West Conference tournaments. Make sure you stick around and get more information about that show. If you're watching Bronco Nation Live on YouTube, jump into the chat, drop your comments, questions, and hot takes, and we'll work them into the show. And with that, I am joined, as always, by my co-host from Sam Talk Sports, Sam Gillette. Sam, my friend, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing well. Excited to talk to Doc here in a little bit. We got some exciting stuff coming out in esports for next week. You're going to want to be in tune for that one, as if esports isn't exciting enough as it is. But real quick, I wanted to talk about our subs. We had an influx of subs last week. I say influx. It grew a little bit. We're up to 726. We need 274 more and a little under 2,000 more watch hours to get monetized, and that's important because once we get monetized, that money goes to the Boise State Nail Fund, and you get to help those people that can't do it with their pocketbooks. This is how you do it: subscribe, watch, and then anything that we make off the channel, it goes to Boise State, and that's how you help for free. But as you said, Nick, we do have uh, Doc in tow. Uh,
What's up,
Doc, how you
guys?
doing?
I'm doing good. Just
Yeah.
finally getting the schedule back to normal. Takes half a week after you come back from Hawaii,
Yep.
but we're back at it, and we saw sun today. So maybe it's going to be Hawaii conditions here very soon.
And
Hope
speaking of
so.
Hawaii, you guys went over there and you absolutely dominated. Uh, 5-0 in group play. Uh, Took down Syracuse in the bracket, and then falling just short to a Baylor after beating them uh,
Yeah.
in the group. Uh, Talk us through that tournament and what you saw that makes you excited about April.
You bet. Well, I mean, so Baylor's Rocket League team has been one of the top teams in the nation this year. They are phenomenal. All three of their players have pro experience and are playing for an upstart Baylor. I mean, all of Baylor's resources went into that one team for their first year. So they wanted a big bang out of that, and they have not lost in collegiate play until Saturday.
Yeah.
We knew we could beat them. We knew it's always going to be really tough. We talk about it all the time. It's PVE. It's player versus environment. We do not care who's sitting on the other side of the desk. We prepare to play as perfectly as we can, and we don't care who the opponent is. I didn't genuinely think once when we were sitting across from them, oh, that's Baylor. It's just like we see what the challenge is, and we're playing boss level against three great players, and we delivered their first collegiate loss. So we know we can beat them again. We have the code. It's us and our system versus our mistakes.
Yeah.
And so when we play them again in Vegas, which is first week of April, we like our chances a lot.
Did you have a Hoosier moment and go and pull out your tape measure and measure the field heading up against Baylor?
Thankfully, we don't need to. When we come into these, honestly, we're kind of the favorites because we've been doing this as long as we have, and someone like Baylor comes in, even if they're really really good and people think that they might win, they still see them as the underdog. So I mean, our folks have played on the biggest stage. This group has been to Worlds, the World Championships in
Yeah.
Collegiate Rocket League. So they're not easily moved by the stage, and certainly not in Hawaii.
we had Woozy on last week, and he had a pretty good outing, 36 goals on 151 shots.
Yes, he did.
Um, and then you had Durtho with his 29 goals, and then Preston with his 26. Really an offensive barrage over
Yeah.
there in Hawaii. Uh, you like that going forward to kind of keep up those numbers, or do you think that they
The
can
way that
push beyond?
yeah, I mean, truly, the way that it works is if you continue just to take shots, good teams will almost always block the first and the second. And so it it's not that any one of them is shooting better. It's just where they are in the rotation at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And we like our kickoff strategies a lot better than Baylor's, and we're trying to perfect that. The system that we play is a very specific way to play, and if we do it perfectly, it's like the triangle. It's kind of unbeatable.
Yeah. Hey, and
With
really,
Dirt
Boise
though,
State was. Yeah, go for it, Nick. Sorry.
with Dirt though, I just had a question. His two-way presence, keeping that team balanced, is that how important is that? For that team.
I mean, he's the oldest of the trio, and he's the one who made the first introductions to those players when they were still in high school, and we started recruiting them. I mean, he really picked the guys that he wanted to chase championships with, and they have 3 Mountain West together. So um, he chose the right people. We recruited the right people and their moms, because that's always part of the recruiting process. He definitely is a technically skilled and gifted player. Um, for him, and he did this really well in Hawaii. He's so good that he can take a little time. One of the big notes that I gave him on stage was something he mentioned about himself a number of times, which is play fast, but not so fast you can't make the play. Like if you get to the ball with so much speed that you've got just a split second to make a decision, you've got a little bit more time. And so I reminded him of that. One of the funniest lines I've ever heard came out of the audience, and I won't quote it exactly because there was profanity in it. But one of the other Rocket League players saw me, in my book, given notes to them as we're prepping for this match, and one of the players in the audience went, expletive removed, "Is he a real coach?" I was a little offended and vindicated in the same moment.
You got a lot of these are just guys that come together and say, "Hey, let's go be a Rocket League team," though, right? There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
real coaching structure.
Not as much. And really good teams can have a lot of success without much external coaching, but you can't sustain that success over multiple years. I mean, this trio has won more games together and more championships together than maybe all teams except for Akron, who put together an unbelievable 4-year run with their primary 3 players. Akron's really good and has been really successful in Rocket League. They may be the top game winners, but these guys have put together, close to 500 wins together in 3 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. So in the regular season, I guess we're still in the regular season, but you had Baylor on the ropes early on before Hawaii, and you just
Yep.
couldn't get over that hump. It's good to see you finally got over that hump, got a win over them, but they came roaring back in the finals. What can the boys do differently? Because to me,
Yeah.
it's going to be Baylor and Boise State in the national championship. If yeah, I
Yep.
mean, that seems
I mean,
like where it's going to
it is
go.
our job to make that storyline come true, right? So we think about the next team. We're doing quite a bit of work genuinely on trying to understand their kickoff dynamics. So in Rocket League, there are 5 different positions that the cars can be arranged in, and then 3 players on kickoff, and they're always mirrored on either side. And we've got our student analysts doing a lot of work on trying to understand tendencies. So if if Andy was one of their players or Hawkster's in this position, what's the likelihood that they're going to do a Spanish kickoff? What's the likelihood that they're going to do a dig, which they don't run, or they're going to cheat, or cheat is a description of how you play a kickoff. But and so we're trying to get a good understanding of that. So if we can just win our rock, paper, scissors on kickoffs, 25% more, that's the difference against Baylor. We just have to never feel like we've done enough. We have to keep working towards solving the next thing that makes us just a little bit better. You're either improving or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. That's a Signetti line.
Yeah.
Right.
Save.
And speaking of lines, I want to dig into that grand finals, the rematch with Baylor. That the post match report had you mentioned to the team that they played their system. For fans like at home, what does that philosophy look like during a tournament run like that?
Yeah, it's not such a secret sauce, but so the system is for us to play with really high boost and to not make plays until we have enough boost for our players to support it, right? If we take control and we push too early before our teammates are ready to support it, we don't have somebody in second position, somebody in the third position to follow up. And as I mentioned at the beginning, these matches against the best teams you're not going to score on the first shot, right? A big part of our system too is winning more kickoffs because everybody is boost deprived at the very beginning of the game. So if you can get control after a kickoff, you've got about 6 or 7 seconds where you have a real advantage where people are out of position and you can follow up very quickly. So if we have so we were playing our system very well. We were winning more kickoffs against Baylor. We were staying fuller, but we made small mistakes. We made small rotational mistakes. We tried to play a really good high-low against our because in Rocket League, you can play on the back wall, right? We play a high-low defensive strategy, which allows us to block a ton of shots and get control again. We did that really well. We lost just a couple of 50s that ended up putting us in a position where we had to block a second, a third, a fourth shot on goal, and we have to be able to have enough boost to get those clears early. It's not quite like a power play, but they do. This team does demo a lot, and in Rocket League, it means you crash your car going faster into one of the other cars. They blow up. They're out of the game for 3 seconds, then they spawn in back on your defender side, right? So it's slight power play, 5-second power play.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at that. And when you couple a demo, which they hit us, plus we're in a rough spot in rotation, really good players can hit shots, and they are really good players. They can hit shots like that. Of the 5 games, 4 of them were decided by 1 goal. 2 of them were decided in overtime, which is a sudden death overtime, first person to score. Well, in fact, the game that we went out on, had we scored that goal, which we were pretty close a couple of times, I think it was a 2-minute, minute and a half or 2-minute overtime before the goal scored, then we go into a game 7, and it's a completely different reset, right? It was razor thin. So we talk about the system. It is playing when your teammates are ready, making pushes, ready to follow up, and every player has a very specific responsibility based on where the ball is and where they are in the rotation. Our system was really good. It allows us to beat 4 other really good teams in Syracuse, Michigan State, GCU, and Hawaii. But fell just short against Baylor. So that is some in the weeds stuff. So
yeah, I like it, man. I'm learning. Every
like
second
Rocky,
you're talking,
like,
I'm learning, man.
Right. Yeah, just I hear a random kid in Hawaii off just sitting out and go, holy crap, is he a real coach? I didn't think he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. And you guys in that group play, you went 15-4 if you count each individual game. So I mean, complete domination, and then 4-1
And
against
two of
Syracuse.
those were to Baylor.
Yep.
In our
Yep.
first match where we won 3-2.
Yep. And then the 4-1 win over Syracuse on day 2, and then the unfortunate 2-4 loss on in the grand finale. So really dominant. Let's switch gears a little bit. You guys have a new game, but not a new game coming out.
Right.
Overwatch getting some new heroes. What's
Yep.
that gonna do for the Overwatch team moving forward?
You know what? When we've got the players that we do, Jonathan Foraker, Clear, and Cannon Miller, Strider, who are top level, and I mean Will Hess, who's Hex, all really top level, top 500 players. When you get a refresh of characters, you just dive in and learn them. Jonathan, this is how much of a difference this is. Jonathan was scheduled to go to Hawaii with us, right? He was going to play on our Smash team. And because he also plays Smash for us, he's one of our rare two-sport athletes. He chose not to go because the release was the day before we left, and he said, I want time on all these. I want to be able to grind these. I won't be able to do it when we're in Hawaii. He chose to stay and learn the new heroes before, and chose not to go to Hawaii. So it is a new game. It's unprecedented to have 5 heroes drop, 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 support players, basically an all new lineup that they can play, which means we've got to learn all the interactions. We've got to learn all of the Mythbuster things that pop up, like, oh, well, I wonder if you can deploy this shield on this wall on this map. I wonder if you can make this jump with this ability. We got to go and learn all that tech, and so we've been hitting it pretty hard. We thankfully have a 2-week moratorium on Mountain West play and PEC play. We don't get to include those new heroes yet. Next week against Syracuse, we will. So tonight's practice was heavily in the rotation of the new heroes, trying to build good compositions and understand their play styles. But it's like if we're playing football and there's a major change to the kickoffs, right? We've got to change our playbook relative to those new rules so we can try to find an edge against the opponents. Our final 2 weeks in the PEC are Syracuse and Ohio State, 2 of the best Overwatch teams that are out there. So we've got to be in a great position to win those matches, to give us the best placement when we go to Vegas for our championships.
And I was watching the Overwatch match this week whenever you orchestrated the exhibition game where we got to see the heroes in action.
Bonus map, right? Bonus map. We asked all of our opponents this week, Mountain West and PEC, hey, do you guys want to play an extra map with the heroes? Just for broadcast, for our casters, and everybody agreed. They're just excited to play them.
Yeah. It seems like Jetpack Cat's going to be an early fan favorite.
It's going to be an early fan favorite, but it is really hard to play it into a workable comp at this point, but it is a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Well, Doc, anything else you want to tell the listeners, and anything you want to broadcast out or put out, any teasers?
Well, you always thank our Bronco Nation fans for jumping in and watching broadcasts, even if you're distance. Every night of the week, 6 p.m. Mountain, you can Monday through Thursday, you can just turn on the Boise State ESports channel on YouTube or Twitch, or even now Instagram or X. We're broadcasting live on those tools as well. We just appreciate all of the Bronco Nation fandom and the love that you give our amazing players. We come to Boise State to compete for championships, and we're poised to compete for a number more this year, both in the PEC and the Mountain West and CVAL and CLOL. So,
all right.
Yeah, appreciate you telling our story.
Yes, sir. We enjoy having you on, and anytime you want to come on and break anything, then break any news, not anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say this just in. I'm old.
And a real coach, as we found out in Hawaii.
Evidently, who'd have thunk?
All right, Doc. Thanks for coming on, and we look forward to having you on again in the future.
I appreciate y'all. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Music and creativity come alive at Loretta's Music Studio. Loretta Dorn combines the joy of making music with the art of crafting beautiful wreaths and creations. Whether you're learning an instrument or adding handmade charm to your home, Loretta Studio is where inspiration meets tradition. For more information, go to the Serving Bronco Nation directory.
All right, that was always fun. I do want to give a
yeah.
quick shout out. I want to give a quick shout out real quick. There is, I don't know if he's watching still. I told him we were going live and tune in, and I wanted to get into Doc because we pulled him out of practice for that. I wanted him to be able to get back, but there's a special viewer tonight who is Jesus's brother. He's that old. Pop from Pop Pops Off from our college football roundtable, and other various appearances on Bronco Nation Live and all that. Today is his birthday, so Bronco Nation, wish him a happy birthday. Do it in the comments, either here on the live or on the recording. Pop, happy birthday, love you. Hope you had a good day. Sorry I wasn't there, but if you don't work, you don't eat, and I'm at work and having fun too. So I mean, here we are. So Pop, happy birthday, and I'll take you out for a steak dinner whenever one of us hit the lottery.
Happy birthday, Pop. Appreciate everything you do and contribute to the awesome shows that we put on Bronco Nation Updates. So I hope that you've had a really awesome day. And thanks for Doc Haskell for carving out a couple, about 20 minutes and stop by and let us know. I really love that program that he's built there. So, let's push through. We're in overdrive. Here we've got a lot of content, a lot of updates to bring to you, Bronco Nation. Again, if you're on Facebook, if you can, hop on over to the YouTube chat and start participating in there, and we will work in your comments, your whatever takes you have. Those we'll work those into the show, and that helps us. So if you're on Facebook, if you're watching this and you're commenting on Facebook, we might not always get those comments. So hop on over to YouTube and get in that chat room and start giving us your takes. We're going to be covering all the sports. We'll touch on men's and women's basketball later on, but and then we'll give you some information on how to where we dive deep into the basketball teams. But why don't we talk a little bit about track and field?
Yep, they had their split with the they were in Washington, and yes, that other place that they were at, it is slipping my mind. Hold on, let me consult the notes.
See there,
so they're the Don Kirby
maybe
Invitational.
Spokane.
Yeah, in New Mexico at the Don Kirby Invitational, and then in Washington and Seattle at the Husky Classic. Really some record-breaking for Boise State standards anyway. Times at both of them. Kaya Robertson improved on her program record with the indoor mile up to 4:24:51. And if Dominic, you're watching out there tonight, yes, that's even faster than the last time. She improved on it. So Priscilla, she broke the school record in the women's 400 meter at 53.40 seconds. So again, Dom, yes, that's fast. and of course, Alex Thompson, he finished second in Washington, I believe, at a 3:59.13 mile. So really good on him. And then a fourth place finish for John Daly, Trevor Cogley, Josh Green, and our guy Chase Lawyer in the 4x4 with a time of 3:12:56. Patrick Kiprock set the fifth fastest 5,000 meter time in program history at 13 minutes 51 seconds and 51.45 seconds. And Boise State recorded 8 heat or flight victories between both teams, both meets, I should say. Robertson has now set the program's top indoor mile time at the Husky Classic in back-to-back seasons. So just really good, keeps improving. And that wraps up the indoor track and field season for regular season, I should say. They are February 26th through the 28th in Reno at the Mountain West Indoor Championships for there. Nick, softball, they have a ton of games on the road before we finally get to see them live in Boise. This week, it wasn't any different. What's softball doing?
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Chase out there. He called it when we had him on the Bronco Talk Show before he got onto campus. And he said that, Coach Andy was all about rejuvenizing that track and field program. They're doing it. You can count this, man. 2 school records, 3 or more top 5 all-time marks, and already 8 heat or flight victories. So they're on that. They're on the move to revamp that program and take when we go to the pack. They're going to have that momentum to take over the pack. So softball is fast and furious. They've played 12 games so far. All right, Bronco fans, let's talk softball because Boise State just wrapped up a wild weekend in Southern California last weekend. And now they're gearing up for a massive test in the DeMarini Invitational. And they already got that started earlier today. But just to recap you on last weekend for the Triton tournament, basically the UC San Diego and University of San Diego event, they came out of that and they're entering this week with a 6-5 record. And it was a story. The story of the weekend was basically a tale of 2 halves, right? They had a hot start, winning their winning streak, hit 5, and then by opening strong against Weber State and FDU, Kate Penberthy, the Cal Baptist transfer, she's been pretty much unstoppable. She's been one of the best hitters on the team. She went 3 for 4 with a double, a homer and 3 RBI in that first game there. And then they started out that tournament with 2 wins, and then a couple close ones they let slip by on Saturday. And they dropped an 8-7 heartbreaker to Southern Utah, despite the 15 hits and 3 separate leads. And then later they fell 2-0 to a good Omaha team. So that's not anything to hang your head on. Omaha's kind of had Boise State's number. They played them a few years ago, and so Omaha's been on the record. But unfortunately, their pitcher was just pretty much lights out. But there are still plenty of bright spots. Skylar Stroh went 5 for 7 on that doubleheader. Quinn Sutherland went 5 for 8, 2 doubles, 2 steals. And then Lula Ray McNamara pitched in both games. And before today's game, she was leading the nation with 10 appearances. On Sunday, they were capping it off with a rematch with Southern Utah. And the tail of the tape was the costly errors hurt the Broncos that day. They fell to Southern Utah 8-5. They fell behind early because of 3 defensive errors, dug that early hole. But the offense kept pushing. So Georgia Kreider brought in the first run on the sac fly. Sophia Romero tripled and scored. And Skylar Stroh continued to hit it with a 2-run single. And then Penberthy chipped in with another RBI sac fly. Freshman Grace Peffley, she earned her first collegiate hit. Always love to see the freshmen get that first hit and their first dingers. Always usually try to reach out and go, hey, congratulations on that. So she went 2 for 4 in her first start. And then again, McNamara made her 10th appearance and lowered her ERA to 1.67. And Julianne Rose, she really was throwing the heat last weekend. She finished the weekend with a 1 ERA and 18 strikeouts across 3 outings. So really fabulous. Now that the focus shifts on this is a big challenge this weekend, and they started today. It's getting real, and Coach Schultz likes to get these kind of matchups early in the season while they're on the road in California against some of these premier nationally ranked teams. So they headed to Stanford yesterday. They played the first game today, and they're playing 3 nationally ranked teams: Stanford and the Stanford De Marini Invitational. This one is the toughest tournament fields that the Broncos will see all season. So game 1 was today against 8-3 Arizona, number 15 in the nation. And Arizona's got one of the top offenses, and they won with the run rule. Unfortunately, in the opener, it was stalled a couple times with some heavy rain, but unfortunately, the Broncos did fall 11-2. And this is just something. This is going to be one of those tournaments where they're going to learn a lot about themselves, and I'm hoping to see them, take at least one of these games like they did against Ole Miss. But game 2, they're going to face Santa Clara tomorrow at noon. Broncos are 7-0 all time, 7-0 all time against them. So, and Santa Clara is the defending WCC champion. So they have a really good shot at winning the game tomorrow. But then game on Saturday, they have a major doubleheader. They take on number 2 in the nation, the Texas Longhorns, who are 9-1. They're the defending national champions. So really got their plate full with them. And then if that wasn't too much, the doubleheader features Stanford, who is number 13 and then number 10 nationally. And they were one of the regional finalists last season. They swept Boise State in a 3-game series last year. So it'd be awesome if they could get one of the games this weekend. They will be capping off the weekend on Sunday with a rematch with Stanford. So they'll be playing 2 games against Stanford. It'd be awesome if they could break another record with school history and take down them. That would be their highest ranked opponent that they'd win. But Stanford is the home team, so the odds are forever in their favor. So here's a big picture. Boise State sits at 6-6 today, and although Sunday wasn't the ending that they wanted, there's no question the team is growing. They're hitting. They're getting huge efforts in the circle from McNamara, Rose, and they've already beaten a ranked opponent this year. So now they step into this heavyweight weekend. If they can steal 1, even 2 against the field, it's going to turn some heads nationally. Maybe pull for them again in the Mountain West. You basically you want to win that off-season tournament, postseason tournament, but to get into regionals. And so that's what they got coming up this weekend. And stay tuned, guys. We have a former Boise State great, Mackenzie Hanna, is going to join us for a review of what they've done on this road trip of non-con action, heading into the Blue Collar Classic when they come home early March. We're going to have a review, a standalone review and preview of the season. And it'll be awesome. I think she's going to be no doubt a future Boise State Hall of Famer as well. So really looking forward to that. So that's what's going on in the world of softball.
Yeah. softball plays a lot. Tell them to chill out.
They do.
Give you a
They
break.
There's like 50, 60 games. Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just pushing out update after update after update in the group. It's like, come on, man. I do want to take a quick time to stop and say, Bronco Nation, what do you think of the new studio layout? Let us know in the comments what you think of it, how you like it, and what you would change or leave the same or whatever. Just let's see what you think about the studio layout. Ron Tiller says 1 star. I don't know. I don't know if that was for the studio layout or not. Oh man.
I like 5 stars.
Yeah, it's 5 points. I'll take it. Moving on to tennis, Boise State had Wichita State and Denver. They won 6-1, 5-2 respectively for their 7th consecutive win. They haven't lost since their this spring leg anyway, since they lost the spring opener to Princeton and then followed it up with a loss to Georgia. But they've won 7 consecutive since. Head coach Luke Shields recorded at least one 5-match win streak every season at Boise State, and this season was no different. So good on him. He's really taken this tennis program to a consistent level. Hopefully we can get some of them national championship level. Philip Soderquist was the freshman of the week in tennis, so for the Mountain West. So that's good on him. And they're next up at Grand Canyon on Saturday. Was their first true road game. So everything else has been home or neutral site game. So Nick, that's how you keep it short and sweet and to the point. I guess it helps though when you only have a couple matches to talk about and not 12. But
Yeah.
Speaking of high-powered matches, the gymnastics, they were in Fort Worth this last weekend on Sunday against some high-powered gymnastics talent there. Why don't you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, just like what the softball team is facing some giants this weekend. Well, on Sunday, the gymnastics team did the same. They wrapped up the Metroplex Challenge with a 194.825 team score, finishing 4th behind 3 ranked programs: number 13 North Carolina, number 21 NC State, and number 17 Auburn. So, Power 4 programs, an SEC and 2 ACC teams. The highlight of the night was a season best 49.125 on the beam, fueled by 2 9.9s. Let's break it down. So on the floor, they got a 48.475. Delaney Reeves led the way again with a 9.8, her 4th 9.8 in the last 5 meets. Bridget Kemp matched her season high with a 9.775. On the vault, they scored 48.6. Maria Nero nailed a career best 9.850 to tie for second. Boise State's top vault score of 2026. On the bars, collaboratively, they scored 48.625. Christina Shenikova paced the Broncos with a 9.8, followed by Kylie Hamby at 9.775. And then on the beam, which was, the star of the show, that's the rotation that they really shined. They had the best rotation of the year with 49.125. Nero and Shenikova each hit that 9.9. The first 9.9s by any Bronco this season. Seniors, Sydney Coe, she posted a 9.875, and Brantley Lucas a 9.7. Matched their career highs, while freshman Bella De La Rosa added a strong 9.75. Head coach Tina Bird praised the beam squad for their focus and heart, calling the performance truly special. So your top performances were Ray Nero with that 9.85 on the vault, her career high, and then that 9.9 on the beam. She now owns Boise State's highest score this season on both events. Kristina Shenikova, she had that 9.9 on the beam. That was a career match, and she led the bars with that 9.9. Also made her career debut on floor with a 9.675. So kudos to her for expanding her reach there. And then Ko matched her career best on the beam with a 9.875. With those performances on the beam, that netted both Nero and Shenikova with the Mountain West. They were honored Mountain West Co-Beam Specialist of the Week. And then Ray notched her second Mountain West Co-Freshman of the Week. So she's really making some history in her short career so far at Boise State. This is Nera's, again, it's her second and third weekly honor of the season, while Shenikova earns her 9th career Mountain West honor. It also marked the first time since the 2024 Mountain West Championships that Boise State posted multiple 9.9 beam scores. I believe that was probably when Emlo and Emma Loyam did that, or yeah, I believe that's who did it the last time. So looking ahead, they have a conference meet on Friday in Logan. This is a critical Mountain West conference matchup. Right now, they're currently 1-3 in conference. We want to kind of see if they can start building up those wins towards that regular season, because they're defending back-to-back regular season championships. So we want to see them boost their league positioning as they begin this stretch towards postseason. We need to see them strengthen that resume as they push towards championship season. With gymnastics, they do have each member has the opportunity to make it into regionals, individually. So I hope that they take this chance that, they had that major test against these power forward teams, that, they learned a lot and they can start pushing forward and get into that championship form. So with Nero and Shenikova surging on the beam, the team is hitting its stride. This meet needs to be a big opportunity for Boise State to turn standout individual performance into key team victories. And I think that they're going to do it. I think they're going to do so this weekend. I think that those kind of experiences and those big meets really net a lot of experience and give them that mental mode that they truly need on, and that technicality that they need going forward.
Yeah, I tried to get over there, and then I saw the prices, and that really the way they had it set up was really confusing, because one site said the NCAA was so much, and then the other site said you have to have this much in cash to get into the doors. I'm like, I'm not going to go. So, but women's golf is in full swing. No pun intended. I'm kidding. That was full pun intended. Leah Chung continues to be Boise State's highest placing golfer. 5 of the last 6 tournaments this season, dating back to the fall, she's been the highest placing golfer. This excuse me. This was no different at the Alice and John Wallace Women's Golf Classic. She finished tied for 29th at a +9, as the team finished 8th at a +41. Chung recorded 42 pars for the tournament, which tied for the most in the field. And the team as a whole got the 3rd most pars at 182. So there were 5 Mountain West teams in the field, and Boise State finished highest among them. That's good look whenever the Mountain West Championship comes around. Again, Leah Chung was the top overall Bronco tied for 29th at a +9. Tied for 42nd was Macy Greenwood at a +12. Tied for 45th till Matsueda. I remember that one from the fall. I remember saying that name. I liked it. Anyway, had a plus 13. Brooke Peterson had a plus 14. Julian Hugh had a 16. And Jamie Hards had a 19 as an individual. 22 for Annie Bofalino and 22 for Callie Ward. All competed as individuals there. Boise State returns to California for the Julie Inkster Invitational, March 9th through the 10th, hosted by San Francisco, and the tournament will be played at Harding Park Golf Club. So 17 days away. They get a nice little break here. Well, Nick, we did a little recording here a little bit ago, but we're going to talk some women's basketball. And but first, why don't you tell them about what we have coming up for them tomorrow?
Yeah, well, also Bronco Nation, tomorrow is the start of beach volleyball season, I believe.
Yes.
So, get your rigs out and start getting that sand level. And interesting to see Nora at work again, and then also a transfer that I wrote an article about, Serena Vandermeer. Really interested to see how she does. She's got lots of titles internationally. So, as Sam said, tomorrow we taped the overtime because, this show, we're pushing an hour right now, and it's chock full of lots of updates for you. So we wanted to give the basketball programs the time that they deserve. So, so before we went live, we did a special package called Bronco Nation Live Overtime. So we broke the last games down yesterday. You saw the women with a gritty come from behind game, and they beat Air Force 70-62. Air Force had been surging on a 4-game win streak, so they did that. So we touch on that. We dive into that. We break it down, and then we break down the game that they have on Saturday when they're on the road at San Jose State. And then we also covered, the not so great experience that we experienced with the men down in Logo at the Spectrum. So we broke that down, and then we previewed their match at the X on Saturday against the Spartans. So that'll be posted up tomorrow. So hopefully you check that out. It's a really easy watch. It's like a half hour. So, it's specific and it's right to the point. And that's we want to do that for you, Bronco Nation, because we, feel like sometimes we jam a lot of stuff into some of these shows. And we pride ourselves. We cover all the sports all year long, not just when they're popping, or not when it's popular to do so. We support these teams all year round, and we just love doing that. So so we wanted to give time for all the sports to shine, and in a specific way, and that's what we're trying to do. So we've called this show the OverDrive, because we just kind of went balls to the wall, and and tore up the street with just covering all these sports, and then having Doc come in and stuff. So we're able to be flexible in doing that, bringing in a guest, and then so we want to break things down so that you can consume some of this content piecemeal, and I think you'll enjoy it better that way.
Yep. So without any further ado, what did the women? We'll put up the player of the game here. Let's do player of the game stuff. Whoa. There it is. All right. Natalie Pascal was the player of the game. The Loretta Music Studio Creation and Wreaths, making music and crafts together. Find out how to contact Loretta Dorn for all your music and craft needs at bronconationupdates.com/directory. Your Loretta's Music Studio Creations and Wreaths, player of the game, Natalie Pascal. Pascal. Is it Pascal? Pascal. Did I say it right?
Pasco.
Uh, sorry, my screen jumped. 21 points on 58% from the field. 4 of 6 from 3-point land. Perfect on the line. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 turnovers though. But hey, they got the win, so it doesn't matter. 1 foul in 38 minutes. As Boise State cruises to a come from behind 70-62 win. Nick, what stood out most to you about this one?
Yeah, just what stood out to me was this was the first time this season where they came into the third quarter trailing, and they were able to come from behind and win the thing. So to me, what stood out is the grit that took in overcoming like a hot Air Force team. It's crazy to say that, but an Air Force team that's not the men. But riding a 4-game win streak, and then you're on the ropes going into some uncharted territory where you usually don't win. But they've outscored their opponents 539 to 420 in the third quarter. So, but that doesn't mean that, and the disparity was, when they go into the third quarter trailing, it didn't go their way, but yesterday it did. And I like to see that, because championship teams win home games, and that's what they did.
Yep. Unfortunately, the men did not have the same success, but we do have a player of the game nonetheless, as Drew Fielder is your Crosby Custom Coatings player of the game, offering the Treasure Valley and beyond the highest quality repaints on the market at affordable prices since 1979. Email Crosby Custom Painting at gmail.com for more information. Your Crosby Custom Paintings or Coatings player of the game, Drew Fielder, bright spot on the Broncos offense last night. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, only 3 turnovers and 2 fouls in 23 minutes. You got to wonder why they don't play him a little bit more. It seems like when he's in, he's getting some scoring done, but only 23 minutes last night. I really think that they're sitting people to save them up for tournament time, and just because they know that that's their only way in. That's the only thing I can think of for some of these lineups. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I couldn't speculate to why some of the subs that they're doing, for why they're doing it. All I know, it's sometimes it just doesn't work, and I do have some preferences what I'd like to see, but I'm not the coach. But I do really like when Spencer Aarons is out there. I think that he does a lot of those intangibles that Drew can do in the paint. Kudos to Drew. He's a great leader, and he takes these losses really seriously. I can tell, just by the way that he conducts himself in the post game wrap ups. And I think when Drew is doing well and getting the production that is needed for a Bronco win, then they're damn near unstoppable. But it just seems like there's just varied spots that we see that, and I'd hope that hopefully that this is their chance after a demoralizing win like that to these are the times where you and the opponent that you're coming against, to really muster up some heart, and let's put some pride into this, and let's get it done, both for the players and the staff.
Yep. And we take a deeper dive, like Nick said, in Bronco Nation Live Overtime. That's releasing tomorrow. Nick, what time tomorrow can they look for that?
You can look for it in the 7 o'clock hour Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central. All
right. You want to hear the deep dive into Boise State men's and women's basketball? That's your spot. Bronco Nation Live Overtime tomorrow at the 7 o'clock spot, Mountain Time. All right, Nick.
And if you become
serving
a
Bron-
if you become a subscriber tonight, when it gets posted, you'll get that notification before anybody else,
there
and you don't have
go.
to pay for it. You
Yeah.
guys are VIPs if you're following us.
Subscribe and get notified. Need to get that
Yep.
on a shirt. Serving Bronco Nation, Nick, a chance for small businesses to come on and large businesses too, but to come on and show their support for Boise State, as well as fuel this beast that we're running through and put money back into the athletic program. Give us a quick rundown, Nick. Serving Bronco Nation, how can they join?
Yep, you can get on the directory simply by going to bronconationupdates.com /SBN and SBN plans. You can check out those plans, and we do the work, man. We do a lot of content and pushing it out, and I think that you get a good bang for your buck. And guess what? That goes to the school, because that's what we're doing here. We're covering the team, and we're building up the network, because what we're trying to do is a grassroots thing to to crowdsource in such a way, both by individual donors, but also in the business realm. And we're putting a lot of time and energy into this because we love Boise State, and we want to partner with any entrepreneur, any small business, any large business conglomerate, because we're putting in the work and we're getting the views. So let us work for you, and you're going to get it's a win-win. You're helping out the Boise State, and you're getting an ROI in return, because we're going to be sending the views your way on the directory.
Yep. And not only do you get your spots on these fancy little player cards right here, but in coming time, you'll see where the blue elevation logo is on the screen. That spot could be yours as well. And that's all part of the plans, correct, Nick?
Yep, there's a lot of property here on this screen I'm seeing, and would love to get these filled up with different levels of sponsors. So yeah, let us work for you, and when you network with us, you're part of the fam, and we'll go the extra mile.
Yep. Well, we're about going to wrap up, but I do want to tell everybody, Bourbon Beer and Basketball Wednesday night, that even though it is not a Boise State specific show, your views and subscriptions and everything that you do on this channel, even if it's with that, a national show, it still counts towards the watch hours, and that still puts money into the Boise State Nil Fund. We just because we do some national shows does not mean we're straying away from what the purpose of this channel is, and that is to monetize, to give nil to Boise State. So come watch that show. We're going to have a couple different tournament pools. We're going to have a Bourbon Beer and Basketball pool. We're going to have a Bronco Nation updates pool. So come to the show and learn about the teams out there and get some differing opinions from minds all across the nation. We've got Dominic Cressetto from the Sunbelt Syndicate out on the East Coast. We've got Casey Wick up there in Pennsylvania. We've got Johnny Yates, basketball coach right here in Texas. And, of course, we have Nick and Josh up there in the Pacific Northwest. And me, I'm everywhere. So come join us every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 Mountain Time. It's a great show, great fun. And come tell us what your favorite bourbons and beers are, and crack one open with us.
So, Bronco Nation, really appreciate you guys watching this episode of Bronco Nation Live. We want to thank Doc Haskell for hopping in here for about a half hour. Want to thank everyone who follows all of our platforms. So, just do the thing. Go like and subscribe for free on all of our platforms, especially on YouTube. We really appreciate you watching. Replay this, share it, invite your friends, family. Truly, I really thank you for watching and being a part of the Bronco family. If you're watching this on replay, put down your comments. Tell us what you think about any of the things that you watched or what's going on with the men's and women's basketball. And look for that show to drop late tonight or early in the morning. Like I said, 7 Mountain Time, 9/8 Central. So for Sam Gillette, I'm Nick Wade. Thank you for hanging with us. We'll see you all next time. And as always, go Broncos.
Blue Elevation Elevating Bronco sports through fans like you. Every donation fuels Boise State athletics, scholarships, and community projects, helping student athletes reach championship levels. With over $13,000 raised, Blue Elevation is Boise State's #1 crowdsourcing outlet. Join the movement, elevate the Broncos, and make every gift count. Visit blueelevation.org to elevate Boise State to the next level.